Hello guys, welcome back in today's video. My name is Kunal and I'm speaking you from Real English with Kunal YouTube channel. And nowadays, as you already know, I'm creating videos related to IELTS. So today we are having again Sumit. So now it's Sumit's third time. He's going to give his speaking and I'm going to take his IELTS Q card speaking. And if you are new here, please subscribe it and please do share it with your friends. And if you like it, then do comment also. Well, thanks a lot. Without further ado, let's kick it off. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
My name is Sumit, and I'm from village Guna. It is located in our town Sonipat, and actually my first name is Sumit and my last name is Gehlawat. But I always say everyone to address me just by just saying Sumit.
Okay, so it is fine. I can call you Sumit. So Sumit, may I have your ID? All right, Sumit. So may you please tell me a little bit more about yourself so I can know you better, like some general things about you.
So I have just completed my 12th from Sarchotran Senior Secondary School. It is situated at Ratangada Majra, and I have scored 67% marks in my 12th, and that are not like of my expectation. They are very low for me, but still I am going with these marks.
Okay. Okay, so tell me about your hobbies also.
My hobbies are to play video games and to travel with my friends.
Travel with your friends. So where you have traveled recently? Talk about that one place.
Recently, we went to a trip to Haridwar. I went with my friends and we hired a cab and we all went there and we enjoyed a lot there. Okay. So the journey was of like a week.
Okay, journey was for a week. Okay, tell us something unique about Haridwar. What you found there unique something?
So as we all know, like in Haridwar, the river Ganga, and the Ganga is a holy river, and the water is like very pure and clean. So we can see the ground level of the river. The water is that much clean. Not nowadays. It was very clean, but nowadays it is getting very polluted because of our human activities. Like we throw our garbages all over into the river. So I found that there is a lot of crowd. There was a lot of crowd there, as it is a very famous tourist place and a holy place.
Okay, if I talk about environment, generally it is considered environment of mountains is really peaceful and really decent, you can say, like clean. So what difference you have found there on the basis of environment, like comparing to here from Sonipat? What difference you have found there?
So at Haridwar there were a lot of trees, and there are a lot of trees, and the quality of air we get there was very neat and clean. And in the morning time, we went to take a bath into the river, and the water was also very cold. Like we were not able to swim. We were not able to swim a lot of time. So, and the environment there is also very peaceful. Like whenever we climbed mountains also, so the environment there is very peaceful, and due to the trees we were getting a lot of fun, and we were having fun.
Okay, so what type of benefits we get from trekking? Do you know what is trekking?
Yes, sir.
So please first of all talk about trekking, and after that please talk about what type of benefits we get from trekking.
Trekking is mostly, you can say, like traveling into the forests and or climbing a mountain, like with our friends, family, and our like a group. So the benefits we get from traveling, in my point of view, and they are like we got physically fit. We found ourselves that we able to climb a mountain or not. We got our mind diverted from our daily work. Like I daily went to school at that time, but I changed my schedule and I went to Haridwar. So that made me stress that removed my stress, and that helped me a lot.
You can call it stress buster. I have shared this one vocabulary with you. Please use in sentence stress buster.
Okay. The environment there is very stress buster, as my daily schedule is very busy, so I get a lot of stress. So it is like we can say that the environment there is stress buster.
Do you think you are a student? Do you feel sometime you are getting pressurized, you are having too much pressure for study, like you are not feeling natural? Sometime it happens with you?
Yes, sir.
So please share. Like, do you think it is hard to being as a student? If it is hard, why it is hard? If it is not hard, why it is not hard? Please talk about.
If I talk about my opinion, then being a student is very hard in the school life, and like we were given a lot of assignments. We have to prepare the assignments in a week, or they give us a time limit that we have to prepare this, otherwise they will deduct our marks. And so many times I have I had not sleep. I had not taken my sleep to complete my assignments. So that is very stressful.
Okay, talk about that thing also. When you are not taking sleep, how your next day goes? Just suppose there are 2 days. One day you get ample amount of sleep, okay, and another day you are not getting like proper sleep. You are getting not adequate sleep. So how do you feel at that time? Next day your how goes? Please talk about.
So, like I had experienced this before. So if I don't take sleep at a day, a night, and then in the next day I feel very tired, and I was not able to concentrate on my studies either. And the next day, before I completed my presentation, it was the science exhibition. So I felt very like tired, and I felt very sleepy. So I was not able to I was not describe my science project there.
Okay, we have studied around at least 12 years, is that right? At least. So I believe that in 12 years you got to know a lot of things about our education system. So what do you like to say about our education system, Indian education system? What do you know about it?
I think that our education system is very worst. It is not like good for children, because they only want us to like write assignments, write papers. They are not giving us knowledge, practical knowledge. They only want to score good marks in exams, and all the thing, like they never take us to like tours for us. Tours play an important role, like to change the mindset of a student. So I think that our education system only depends on like exams and all, only on mark sheets.
Do you mean to say it is kind of theoretical knowledge and they are not giving us opportunity to put into practice? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So according to you, like just suppose now you are not longer Sumit. And Sumit, do you know what you have become now? You have become the education minister of India. So what type of policies like curriculum you will made change into curriculum? What type of policies you would like to bring and why? So you can say rather than being too much theoretical, we can also do the same thing with practical. How will you make things pragmatic? What you will do for it? Do you have any like idea, strategy you will implement? So then please let us know.
Like imagining myself as the education minister, I will I will apply some laws and some rules and regulation to the schools that they have to provide. It will be compulsory that they have to provide some practical knowledges. They have to take students outside their school for like tours and some exhibition in other schools. And I will like change this like theoretical knowledge, like we practicals and all. I will change them to a little bit very less. And actually, I don't have much ideas about it. So
Okay, you can give these type of examples, Sumit. I'll try my level best. not merely theoretical. Like this will not be the case. You just have to score high marks. No, just have to score like good marks. That's it. And apart from that, I would like to encourage them for sports activities. I'll bring some that kind of policies so they can go for tours like in different states of India, because India is a really diverse country. So they will able to use their language. Just suppose if they are using English language. Please, Nishant, it's creating disturbance, bro. Student, it's creating disturbance. Like your this thing. Yeah, for sure. Okay, where were we? Would you like to remind me?
We were at the like imagining ourselves.
So you can say, just suppose we are learning English language, but we are not getting the opportunity for like speak. You can say our school claim themselves they are English medium, but in reality, nobody speaks there in English, even their teachers also. So I believe that if there will be tours, we will go to different states, so we'll be able to know where we stand in reality, not just on paper. We will see in reality how's our language, how's our way of communicating, and we will exchange ideas and we will become better.
Yes, sir.
So how many time you went for tour from your school side? Tell me.
Actually, from my school side, once I went to a tour to the PITE Institute, Panipat Institute of Engineering and Technology. There was science exhibition was conducted there, so our school took us there, and we find that we get to know a lot about the college, the life of a college, and all the facilities provided there. Even though not only our school was invited there, a lot of schools other than our school, like some government schools and like some other famous schools in Sonipat, like Red Rose were there. Red Rose school students were also there, and other schools.
So you have never been to such a place like historical place in Delhi. You have never been to any nature place like Manali. So do you think we should visit historical places like museums? What we can learn from historical places like museums? Tell me, what we can learn?
Yes, I think that we should, in our lifespan, we should definitely go to historical places so that we can get to learn more about our history, our ancestors, and all about the time period, like how was their living at that time and what they have created, like some temples, and that provides us knowledge about the architecture at that time, and the belief of our ancestors also.
Okay. Were you a history student in your school time or different? Tell me about your subjects.
I'm a commerce student, and my subjects were Hindi, English, account, business, and economics.
Okay, you have to talk about that one subject. According to you, this subject is best for me, all time favorite, and why?
About?
Any subject which you like. You have to talk about that one subject which you like really a lot, like most, like your favorite one. So is there any subject, and what is something in this subject you like most?
Yes, I love the subject economics, as we got to learn a lot about our economy, our society, and in economics there are a lot of rules and laws which are taught to us, which they teach us, and like our nation's GDP, and all other taxes, and about everything, transportation, and
All right. That's your general discussion is done. Now we are going to move towards our cue card. So you can see here is a cue card which I have written for you, and you will have 1 minute to prepare it. All right. So yeah, prepare, and when it is prepared, you can let me know. I'll ask to you. I think your speaking time is up. So shall we start?
Yes.
You will listen carefully, all right? Describe a course that impressed you a lot. You should say what the course was about, where you took the course, what you did during the course, and explain why it impressed you a lot. And your time starts. 1 minute, give me, please. Now,
So recently, I had completed my IELTS speaking test. IELTS test. It is a great English learning, English language proficiency test, and I had completed this test from the Griffin Immigration. It is the institute in my locality, and it is located at Sonipat in front of Shambhudal School. And in this course, I have studied 4 modules, and which were reading, speaking, listening, and writing. And the teachers were there who helped me a lot at that time. And all the instructors were very knowledgeable, and they all started my learning from from very basics. And they gave me a lot of new vocabularies, and they helped me in my pronunciation, and I can say that my pronunciation is very improved from from the past. And every Saturday, the mock tests were conducted, and on every Saturday, and they were conducted to check our improvement, check our improvement. And I wanted, they provide us 6 hours of practice, and they include all the 4 modules, like I have told before. And I found this course interested because I always wanted to learn a foreign language, and English is applicable in all fields. English is nowadays getting used in all walks of life, and this course provides me the opportunity to explore the English language.
Okay, your time is up. So you have spoken really nicely. So you did one mistake, like you said, interested. So there you need to add interesting. Yeah. And apart from that, everything was all right. In Sonipat or at Sonipat? In natural English, we have to focus. Like it is situated in Sonipat, not at Sonipat. And you have scored, do you know how much? You have scored around, Sumit, now that's your improved version, like 7. Because 7 means that you are good user. It means that the test taker has operational command of the language, though with occasional inaccuracies. It means like sometime you do inaccuracy and inappropriate uses and misunderstandings in some situations. They generally handle complex language well and understand detailed reasoning. Like you are able to speak with detailed reasoning. If you have to give the reason about any detail, you can speak on it. So even though your speaking was like detailed, you were trying to explain like everything in a really well way. All right, now I need to ask you follow-up questions. So for this thing, yeah, do this thing. Okay, let's ask you from my side. You have studied from A1 institute as well, which you called Griffin Immigration, all right. Okay, you have studied from school as well, English as well, and English here as well. So what is different you have learned from here, from Griffin Immigration? How was your English before, and what type of difference has come to your language now after joining this institute? And you can also consider this question generally way, like what type of things we learn from institute, how institutes are different from schools, school traditional teaching. Yeah, please talk about.
Like if I talk about the difference between teaching from an institute and a school, when I was in school, the level of English was not much high, and they only taught us like what is needed at that time, what was needed at that time. So when I when I joined the institute, they provide me basic knowledge. Firstly, the grammar, and when I joined, my grammar was not enough well to score good, but they let me practice more, and they provide me many sources, like they provide me books and all these things. So I think that from an institute we can learn more in we can high it levels up our standard of learning, like when I was in school, and then in exams there was seen and unseen passage, and there were some questions after that we have to answer them. So we have to just pick up a line from the passage, and we have to just put it into as the answer. We have to just show it. But when I joined the institute, I got to learn that the level of English, the standard was very high, and now I have to just at that time I have just match the sense. I have to read the whole passage. I have to get a general idea about the passage, and then I have to match it with the headings given there. So it is totally different.
Okay, talk about that one thing. What's the difference comes, like particularly about your like grammar, about your pronunciation, about your speaking when you join any particular institute? What's the difference comes? And why we are not able to learn English, like speaking English, like kind of like all right English, better English from our schools? Why we always struggle to speak? Even we are getting studying around, you can say, 12 years. So after that, what is the root cause according to you?
Like I have studied more than 12 years in my school, and I was not able to learn proper English, a fluent one. So I I can say that the reason was the environment. The environment was of the school was very bad. Like even though teachers didn't speak English at that time. So and they never give us a chance to speak. They never give us a chance to come on the stage and to remove our hesitation and all. But in institute they focus on each and every student, and they focus on our mistakes, our pronunciation mistakes, and they make us correct, and they provide a lot of sources also through which we can learn in a better way.
So now we have to use like they provide, like, yeah. It's all right. What about pronunciation? Is there any difference you found in pronunciation, like teachers from school and teachers from, you can say, trainers from like institutes? Is there any difference in their pronunciation, or they speak in that same way, their English, like way of speaking?
There is a lot of difference between the pronunciation of a school teacher and an institute teacher. An institute teacher always focuses on his pronunciation. Even though if he or she don't know the pronunciation, then they will check from the Google and they will correct it for the students. But in schools, they just pronounce the word for like just you have to understand. They don't give us a clear meaning, a clear pronunciation.
Okay, just suppose you studied from school, so you are having great idea about school education. Please let us know something so we can add that one thing in schools, and all our students can speak better English. According to you, what we should do for creating a like great speaking environment, like we can generally use this language, we can become better at grammar, like English, like all aspects, fluency.
We can say like in schools they also provide us sources of learning. They also teach us grammar. They also teach us tenses and all verbs and all these things. But they don't give us practice. Like they don't make us speak. and they don't give us the chance to speak in front of all. So from school we were not able to remove our hesitation, and this become a great barrier in our future plans, in our future like institutes and all.
What's the best way for learning according to you? Reading, you can say watching, and by doing yourself, and why?
In my opinion, by doing ourselves is the best way to learn anything. Like if we for instance, if we take an example, then if we have to learn riding a bike, then we can do it by learning or by watching videos. We have to do practical, we have to do practical with it, we have to deal practically with this. Then we have to hire a coach and all. We can do by this by speaking, by any watching any videos. And in videos they only provide us the like the strategy to ride a bike, and they provide us information about all the parts, but they can never teach us riding a bike.
Do you think the same goes with this thing as well? You can say YouTube is a great way for learning English, all right, but you can say you can learn from anywhere nowadays, but in order to speak better English, to become good at it, so you need to speak. Do you agree? Like it is same as like you can't learn from watching, you can't learn only through my videos. You can get something, but in reality you have to speak. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Until or unless you will not speak, you will not able to know your mistakes. Is that right? What do you like to say about this thing, about English language, why we should use in daily life, real life?
Like if I talk about myself, then recently in the past years, I also don't speak English. I just watch videos and just focus on the teaching of what our teachers were teaching us. I just focused on that, and but when I came to the institute, I learned the importance of speaking. That if we don't speak, if we don't do practice, then we can't achieve good marks, or we can't achieve our goal. We can't learn proper English fluent.
How much time you have taken for speaking English? How much time you have taken for getting this level?
Like in my school, I have learned a lot, but not that much. Like I had not practiced, but in institute it took me like 2 months to learn English properly. Like my grammar was also not very good, and all my pronunciation also was not good, and my sentence structure was like very bad. I just put sentences here and there. I don't know where to like how to assemble sentences and speak. So it took me a total of 2 months.
Okay. So can you let us know some ways how did you learn English in that proper way, like you are speaking somehow really better? Even though you need improvement, there is always space for needed for improvement. It never gets end. You can always improve. But even though you are speaking really well now, so what you have implemented on your speaking, you got these kind of results. And what do you like to say about those who are preparing for IELTS aspirants? What do you like to suggest them? Just suppose if you have to get like good level like me, even better than me, what they can do?
Like practice is the only way, according to me, to achieve success to in any field, not in only learning English or clearing IELTS, in everything. Like I had also practiced a lot with my teachers, with all my institute teachers also, and like we have done reading aloud and picture description and all these kinds of strategies we have applied. I read a lot of newspapers daily, so I did a lot of practice. I speak in front of mirror and with my friends also in English only. So that like practice is the only key.
Okay, I got you. I believe that. I'm really like thankful, even though for your teachers, you have spent a great deal of time with them, and that's why we are able to improve you only in just 2 months. So somehow the great amount of credit goes to your school teachers, because they have helped you a lot in order to get the theoretical knowledge.
That was the basic.
Yeah, like kind of basic thing. Okay, all right, even though, but I believe that this is somehow really good for you. That's why you have improved in that way. That's why we are able to polish you. We have just polished you. Like whatever the level you have, we have just polished it, make it better than earlier. What different question I can ask you? Let me think. Do you think IELTS is tough? If it is tough, why it is tough? If it is not tough, why it is not tough?
Same situation, like if we don't practice, then it is tough for us. If we don't give time to it, like in the class also we don't focus on what the teacher is teaching us, then it will be like very tough for us. And if we pay attention, even if we pay attention in classes only, like we don't need to study at home, we can just give like half an hour at home, then it will be like sufficient for scoring good in IELTS is not much difficult if we pay attention on it.
Do you know nowadays one more thing is happening? Nowadays a lot of students, what they are doing, they are not taking regular classes, they are not going to institute or schools. They claim one thing: we will study from home with the help of YouTube. Do you think it's a right approach? If it is a right approach, why it is a right approach? If it is not a right approach, why it is not a right approach? And what we learn different from entering in this class room experience? And what's the difference learning from YouTube? Talk about that one thing also, because I believe that there are that kind of teachers available. With the help of them, you can learn from the best, like native speakers from America, Canada, Australia. You can learn from like IELTS English. All right, reading is there, listening is there, speaking is there. I'm not sure about speaking. Like everything is there, like most of things. Do you think what's the difference come like learning from these, you can say, yeah, sites or YouTube or whatever, and what's the difference joining a institute in real life, in person?
Learning from YouTube, we can get only knowledge about the thing. We can't get practice. Like by the practice, we get the amount of like knowledge we get to learn by entering any classroom, by spending time with the teachers and our friends. Like we will learn social skills and like speaking skills. We will be it will be very easy for us to interact with others, and it provides us a lot of practice. Like and instructor will tell us all our mistakes and try to correct them. And this is the difference from by learning English or anything from these sites, social sites, and learning from any classroom.
What is the need of social skills in life, what you learn from classes, and how you learn from classes these social skills, and why these are significant in your lifelong journey?
Social skills are very important for everyone. Like I'm a commerce student, and I have to learn a lot of social skills, and I have learned also. So it helps me in interaction with anyone. Like my journey aim is to join an join an MNC multinational company. So there will be like interviews with others. So like social skills will help me to interact with them, to not to hesitate at that time.
I'm asking you a last cue card. You have already done this one earlier, like one day back. Okay, all right.
Then, sir.